Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video what we're going to do is we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's been almost a week since I've had this phone, and the more time I spend with this phone, the more I like it. But there's also a few issues in this video I want to talk about in relation to this smartphone. So let's dive in and get started right away. By the way, if you want to pre-order this phone, there's going to be exclusive links below for sakitech viewers, which will get you $150 instant Samsung credit, a free storage upgrade, up to 15% off for parents, students, or teachers, and more. This is going to be a limited time deal during the pre-order phase, so those links are going to be down below if you want to pre-order. Alright, so the very first thing I want to quickly talk about is the display. This display is phenomenal. Watching movies and consuming media on this display is an absolute pleasure under any lighting condition, whether you are in a dark room or you are in a very brightly lit environment. Everything is going to be nice, clean, and crispy. Now, one thing that bothered me a couple years ago was the fact that the iPhone displays were exceeding the quality of the Samsung displays, which is funny because Samsung actually manufactures most of the displays for the latest iPhones like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So Samsung was falling behind in their own game, but now the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has reestablished itself as the king in display. It is brighter than the iPhone. It is now 2600 nits versus iPhone's maximum 2000 nits. And side by side, when you're watching movies, whether that's HDR or regular viewing, you can see the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra looks so much better and brighter as you are enjoying movies. And by not having that big pill-shaped cutout, it is also more immersive. But there's also one more thing that's crazy about this display. The Gorilla Glass armor that's being used on the front display is actually 75% less reflective. So anytime something bright hits the display, it is simply going to be less reflective. You can see in this example, both the iPhone and the S23 Ultra are reflecting the light of their display, and in comparison the S24 Ultra is doing a much better job in this respect. So that's an impressive feat in display. I'm happy that the phone is back with one of the best displays on the market, better than the iPhone, better than the S23 Ultra from last year. Now, I also want to talk about the AI wallpapers in this phone. There's a lot of AI features. One of the AI features is known as the generative AI wallpapers. What I like about these guys is when you go in and you try to create a wallpaper, every single time you run the app, it gets you something different. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And also, I'm going to tell you guys one thing I'm not that happy in relation to the AI. Alright, so if I pinch the screen and if I go to wallpaper and style and if I go to change wallpapers and go to creative, here's my AI wallpapers. Let me show you one example. Here's something I created by putting in this input. I said a cereal castle made of stone in shades of coral and tan. Now, if I tap this generate button again, it is going to recreate this, and look at this. It's going to be something completely different, completely imaginary. So I also get a bunch of options that I can pick from. So these are some incredible wallpapers you can create over and over. Here's just one more example. Here's another example. All these made randomly. One more example. If I tap this guy right here, and if I recreate, it is going to give me something completely different than what you just saw. Here it is. So again, it gave me 4 different options. That is absolutely incredible that I can use any one of these imaginative wallpapers for free, and there's just so many options. But we have a problem. Let's talk about that. So you may have heard that the AI features are not going to be free forever. In fact, the fine print on Samsung says these AI features are going to be free until 2025. The problem is there's no details. There's a bunch of AI features that actually get processed on the device, and I'm showing you guys a list of those AI features. And then there's a bunch of AI features that are done off device in the cloud. That is probably what is not going to be free anymore. So on device AI features will remain free. Off device they may charge, but there's no details exactly how much they're going to charge, or if this is guaranteed, or which one of these features will remain free and which will be paid. So right there we have a question mark, and nobody likes question marks. So hopefully we get some clarity on this situation very soon. but that's one thing I want to mention in this video. And of course, the next thing I want to talk about has to do with the performance. So the performance on this phone is amazing, and that is due to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is a highly refined and efficient processor. You can see here I'm playing this game, Genshin Impact, at the highest graphical settings, and there's barely any lag, any stutter. Everything is nice, crisp, and clear. So expect to get the best performance out of the most demanding games. And like I've been saying, even compared to the S23 Ultra, which is still an amazing phone, it is up to 35% faster in multi-core scores when you look at the benchmarks. So amazing performance is going to be guaranteed. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with battery life. Now here's the funny part. I was never dissatisfied with the battery life on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It was very good, but then the iPhone 15 Pro Max came along and it was much better by 1 to 2 hours. But now the S24 Ultra is actually meeting or exceeding the iPhone 15 Pro Max based on various tests that I saw online. And even as I continue to use the phone myself, I can see that the battery drains a little bit slower than the S23 Ultra, and it appears to be on par with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So if you're somebody for whom the battery life is very important, this is certainly a phone to play with, and I anticipate, this is just common sense, with updates, it's gonna just get better and better. When a phone just gets released, there's gonna be some quirks with the phone. Even the good things will become better with subsequent updates, and the bad stuff will also get better with updates. So that is also something to look forward to in relation to this phone. And finally, one thing I just realized is that this phone, particularly the S24 Ultra, not the S24 or the S24 Plus, but the Ultra model supports Wi-Fi 7. So if you go out there and buy a Wi-Fi 7 router, you are going to get some amazing speeds even in congested areas, because the Wi-Fi 7 technology is actually amazing. The only thing is you will have to buy a Wi-Fi 7 router, and those routers right now are very expensive. But regardless, if you do have an older router, it is still very fast. But the Wi-Fi 7 is going to get you insane speeds. Alright, so that's what I want to talk about in this video, to give you guys a quick update after 1 week of use. The more I use, the more I like the phone, and the more I learn about the phone, so I can keep you guys updated and talk about what has impressed me and some of the quirks we talked about. So display is amazing. Performance is amazing, the battery life is amazing, the AI is amazing, but we have a question mark with that AI that needs to be resolved. We need to get precise answers on what's going to be free, what's not going to be free, and if it's not free, how much is it going to cost. So that's it. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.